Updates in games are always what push new content and fixes forward, sometimes presenting new problems, but the public ends of builds are the presentation, what we're meant to see. Behind the scenes, though, is a house of cards of development, and Modern Warfare 2 and all COD games, to be fair, are no exception. With each update, there's things the general public isn't meant to see that are either entirely present in the game at that point, but time-gated for a later release, or something that's way further down the line in the future that just has references and mentions to it in the game files. That's where leakers come in and let us know what's on the horizon. Season 5 Reloaded for Modern Warfare 2 was no exception. Modern Warfare 2 Season 5 Reloaded's update provided a bunch of details for what to expect content-wise for seemingly what's going on also a little later on down the line in Season 5, but also Season 6 upcoming, at this point, which is surprisingly only later this month. Today, we're running down the details that you need to know about and what you should be looking out for with Season 6. As we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Do you like any of what we've seen so far out of these leaks? Maybe not so much. Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, XDefiant, and even more to come. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, let's jump into it. Firstly, let's talk about some multiplayer stuff. Operators are one of the ones that are kind of flashy here at this. We'll touch on weapons in just a second that were leaked, but operators for this, it's kind of strange. I don't expect these to be in the battle pass, but it seems like we've already seen more licensed operators introduced with Season 6 here upcoming that all are kind of checking out, but it's a lot by comparison to what we've seen recently, if you ask me. We see the operators of Skeletor from Masters of the Universe, Spawn from, well, Spawn, Ash Williams from Evil Dead, and Alucard from Hellsing. So 4 licensed operators here at this, although I guess that does kind of check out for what we've seen with Season 5 here. I mean, we saw Snoop Dogg, Nicki Minaj, 21 Savage, and Lara Croft all introduced as well, with a ton of other operators still in the way of Oz, Graves, Mila, Velikan, and Mace. So hitting operators pretty hard in the tail end here of Modern Warfare 2's content season. But all of those are pulled from fiction, some maybe stranger and more out there things by comparison. So it seems like Warzone's gonna be a mishmash of a ton of different stuff. You got rappers, you got Homelander and a bunch of superheroes from The Boys. You have super villains from cartoons and comic books. You got a horror franchise crossover with the groovy Bruce Campbell. So with Season 6 on the way, as we've seen with Vanguard, as we've seen with Black Ops Cold War, Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops 4, the further you get into a content year, that's where it's kind of just like, well, anything goes. Let's just have fun with it type of deal. I mean, we saw a bunch of stuff across all those games that depart from that realism aspect of it, and this seems to be no exception. For me personally, I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with stuff that's just zany and crazy like that, but it is kind of funny to see always that transition from a hard stance of, no, we're going super realistic military design to now what we have here at the end of Season 6 in the content lifecycle. But another funny one that was found here with this that may actually be coming before Season 6 is that of the classic Captain Price. And what I mean by that is, well, the Call of Duty 2 Captain Price. For those that don't know, Captain Price was a character in Call of Duty 2. He didn't originate in COD 4 Modern Warfare, though he was there, of course, but there's a World War II version of Captain Price with a much longer mustache and much more defined feature in that regard. That is going to be one that I think is going to be just really funny to see come back. But that's your operator stuff here. Moving on into weaponry, we see 3 weapons detailed, likely those coming along in the Battle Pass. What we see for mid-season has not yet to be determined, but this is the stuff you can maybe expect to see at the launch here, again, in the Battle Pass. For this, we end up seeing a weapon called the Serval, which is the Bruin from Modern Warfare 2019, the ISO 9, and the dual commas. Now, that's stuff that is interesting because, well, the Bruin is definitely nice. We haven't seen an LMG introduced just yet into Modern Warfare 2. Nice to see that. Better late than never, I guess, at that point. The ISO 9, another ISO weapon. That's interesting for sure to see that come back, and we'll see how that plays in comparison to the 45. Obviously not going to contend with the other ISO weapon of the Hemlock, being that that's a rifle. But then we also have the dual commas melee weapons. So an interesting 3 weapons up on deck. But the things that are strange to me is that, I mean, in the files we had another bullpup rifle, and we also saw the PKM was in the marketing, officially speaking, all the way back in Season 3 of Modern Warfare 2. That was seen in the trailer for Season 3 and a couple of different shots of just a few frames of its reference. sense, but neither are anywhere to be seen, that bullpup or the PKM. So maybe those are Season 6 Reloaded weapons, but it's just strange to see again that we have some stuff still left over. We're probably going to be seeing, as with the last couple of years, a little bit of content dropped after the launch of Modern Warfare 3 for those that don't want to move on to Modern Warfare 3, but especially the PKM one. That one's just strange to me because, I mean, it was there since Season 3, which was like, what, May? Yeah, I just had to go back and check. It was the beginning of May, so it's been a long time since that was teased, but it's just never been seen from there. Now, for weaponry beyond that, we also learned from a leak that we touched on in a video recently talking about camos for DMZ. There's a new universal weapon camo that is a reward for something. There's no unlock criteria associated with it to know whether it's going to be MP, whether it's going to be Warzone, whether it's going to be DMZ, but it is something that's an animated and well over the top camo. Like, even for me, it's saying a lot if I'm like, that's a lot on a camo. Honestly, I love it. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's a glowing purple animation over a seemingly glowing green base, but I know it's definitely not going to be for some people. It's definitely going to be way over the top for people that like those more realistic camos and stuff like that. It kind of, to me, looks like Into the Void from Black Ops 3, but a subtle deviation here of it, or not really subtle, just kind of deviation from it. That was kind of like the inspiration for it, perhaps. But again, no details on how this will be unlocked just yet. We did see that we saw a camo introduced in Warzone for the nuke in Al Mazrah with Season 5, so maybe that's the Season 6 nuke reward. Maybe it's the Vondel Season 6 nuke reward, or I mean, maybe it is something that is just introduced in DMZ or multiplayer. That's just shots in the dark, but very excited for that one to come because I'm grinding that out for sure. Looks great. Beyond that, the only other stuff we learned about were some event leaks here for upcoming. We of course have known for a while that there were strings for the new haunting event within Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone. I think it was called the Haunting of Saba earlier, which was like the code name for Al Mazrah way back before the game launched. So this is something that is going to be introduced on Al Mazrah, and it's going to be another haunting event, similar to what we saw with Modern Warfare 2019, similar to what we saw with Black Ops Cold War, and honestly, what I think was a missed opportunity to not have within Vanguard. I know it would have been right around that point when Modern Warfare 2 would have been launching, but man, that would have been really cool to see a nighttime Caldera or something like that. But anyways, there are files associated with it where there would be zombies modes in MP and ghosts in Warzone. So kind of like a hybrid between what we saw within Modern Warfare 2019's haunting and also what we saw with Black Ops Cold War's haunting, where they did the ghosts in Warzone, but it was still the same sort of mode that we had in Modern Warfare 2019. So strange combo, but we're likely going to be seeing that back. Of course, we are going to see likely a nighttime version of Al Mazrah. That was leaked again all the way back since May in that Season 3 update. So there's definitely been references here pointing to this for a long time, and it seems like it's all just culminating into next season. And again, when we'll see that sort of fall and Halloween style theme going for the very tail end of Modern Warfare 2's content year. But beyond that, we saw some Halloween skins in association with that, where there's a pumpkin head skin for Fender, there's a sort of bewitched looking Callisto skin, and a zombie version of Cleo, which all three of those look really cool. I don't really care too much for operator skins, again, just because you're playing a first person game, all you're gonna really see are your hands or your gloves. So not really for me, but if it is your thing, there are some pretty cool skins that you can check out. All this stuff will be linked down below, but that is the leaks that we learned about here within Modern Warfare 2 Season 5 Reloaded, and the update that brought along with it new content, both present and in the future. So that's what we're gonna call it. Let your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of these leaks here? Do you like anything in particular more than anything else? Do you think it's going to be a good or bad ending to Modern Warfare 2's content year? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, and you'd like to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Season 5 Reloaded, Season 6, Modern Warfare 3, X-Defiant, and other stuff here, we got you covered on the channel. I'd love to have in the community, so hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. But for now, that's what we're going to call it. Thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care, and peace.